Okay. I had a good question. Is iLife '08 worth it? Yes, it is. Why? It's like $70, right? $70. You get that really bad version of iMovie, which is it's not really bad. It's just a whole new way to do things. It could be really fun for quick edit video. So it's worth it seeing just that, really. iPhoto is a lot better. It's pretty cool. It's hard to figure out the whole events thing because events kind of end up looking like albums to me sometimes. But it's actually pretty cool. Keywords work much nicer in it. Better edit functionality in it. Lots of cool new books to make with it. That's just a cool app to have. I use iPhoto all the time. I'm using it to create some quick slideshow animations. I wish the animations I produce in it, like the Flickr files I put in, I wish they could be faster instead of a 1 second delay between pictures. I would like to do maybe 20 frame, 15 frame, that kind of thing. That would be kind of handy. Other cool things about it, I haven't really messed with the iDVD yet, although I did look at the templates. There's a really new, cool, kind of kick-ass template with a lot of wrapped surfaces in it. It looks really cool. Half of the Mac is just totally badass. I don't access any of it. iWeb is totally revamped. They got a bunch of new stuff where they're using prototype and scripting to make your web pages look pretty. They almost look like they're interactive Flash, but they're not. So that's pretty cool. So there's a lot of cool things in that, especially if you have an iPhone. You can do some cool things in the gallery and sync it with your iPhone pictures and sync it with another person's. They can send their iPhoto images to your gallery and have this like combined gallery action, which is pretty cool. So iWeb, I haven't really messed with it, but it's got some pretty slick tools. I always thought that it made pages too beefy, and of course I probably read it somewhere. Probably read that somewhere that they made like their HTML was a little too beefy, and they probably streamed that down a little bit. They have some new themes in there that are pretty cool. Other things that come in there. New GarageBand. I messed around with that whole you got all the instruments on there and you play a little bit of this. I almost kind of wanted that to be like, there used to be some music software, DJ software out there a long time ago. Oh, I forget what it's called, like Music something, DJ Man or whatever. And it would show you the tune turntables, and then you could kind of record your own song from it. It was pretty cool. It doesn't really do that, but it just kind of helps you get ready for your potential set. So you can kind of you pick all your instruments and you fine tune the sound you like, and then you say, yeah, I want to make a song that sounds like that, or at least have that kind of element to it. Kind of cool. Throughout all these apps, there's a lot of this kind of record your voice right into it. So there's a lot of record voiceover. You see that in iMovie '08, you see it in GarageBand, of course, and I think it's even in the new Keynote and some other things. And by the way, when you get the '08, it comes with a 30-day trial of iWork. So that's Pages, Keynote, and the new Numbers application. And I like that. I really like. I haven't really messed with. I'll be honest. I haven't messed with Pages that much, but I messed around with one of the pre-built templates in Pages. I cranked out a pretty badass looking document. I mean, it's like a little newsletter in 5 minutes. Now, granted, I had some pre-positioning, but auto crops and all kinds of stuff for you. The cool thing in Keynote, and I'm very new to Keynote, but it has instant alpha where it figures out the alpha of the image when you place it in. And it's got some smart kind of animation controls in it. I've used it for 2 of those Beatport videos I have up here, and those are just real basic. I mean, anybody in their mama can probably do that, and of course any other program can probably do that. I mean, I'm a real bad example for using apps to their full potential. I mean, I'm looking at Motion here in the background because I'm cleaning up some files here and working in Motion, and I'm looking at things I just haven't played with at all because often when you're doing research videos, you don't get to play with particles or replicate. I have no idea what I do with replicate, but on a video. But there's maybe something I could do. The Numbers app, I like Numbers a lot. I think it's cool. It's a cool new way take on Excel. Now it's not going to have all the full functionality of Excel as far as like pivot tables and going crazy. It's a hell of a lot sexier, and I like the idea of kind of like a smart canvas where you can, you create your, your Excel, your sheet, your spreadsheet, right? But you can sex it up and make it look really pretty and presentable easily. And there's lots of cool preformed templates in there, which is nice. It doesn't feel like you're working in numbers, and as far as like Excel, you don't feel like you're in the mundane world of data. You feel like, oh, there's possibilities here. I mean, you can put JPEGs in, you put graphics in, and everything is kind of like an individual element. I really like the print resizer, where you go, say like in Excel, when you want to print something, you screw around with preview for hours trying to like, okay, I want to get all that data on one page. Oh, I clipped a column. Oh shit, is it 75%? No, is it 35%? Is it 12%? You're always trying to mess with the numbers till you get the thing right on the page to make it look good. Well, numbers is easy. It just shows you the thing. If it's clipped, you have a little slider, slide it into place. Perfect. that alone makes it worthwhile. Cross compatibility between Excel and numbers is there, so you can play that tune if you like. Is it worth $79? Yeah, I think it is. I'm even debating buying iWork because I like to really use Pages and Keynote and Numbers more. I definitely like to use Numbers. Maybe I'll do a little walkthrough when I'm done with Numbers. I'm not a big power user on this stuff. I mean, I'm the multimedia guy here at the research firm. But I did, do some. I did some stuff that was pretty easy in Numbers, and I really liked its output. It gives you sliders and check mark boxes like interactively in there. It's smart enough to know that if you have a bunch of numbers in a column, it starts putting down formulas off to the side, saying, hey, you want a sum, you want an average, you want this. I like that. I like the fact that the app kind of thinks with you. Might think, oh, that's stupid, you can do that easily, and Excel, you probably could. But again, it's a new take on an old thing, and Apple's pretty good at taking on those frontiers. The .Mac stuff is probably all real new, and I haven't messed with any of it yet. But yeah, if you're wondering, here's the big thing that haunts me. Don't wonder, do. If you're thinking about it, just get it. Because you'll suffer. You'll suffer thinking about whether or not it could have been good. And I'm kind of facing those demons right now, thinking about whether or not I should get an iPhone or not. I might spend 6 months debating whether or not to get an iPhone, when I could have got the iPhone and then started developing an app for it. Or I could have screwed around with it or whatever. The same thing goes with the MacBook. I feel like I close off certain kinds of functionality that I can't do. Like I can't do a remote broadcast. That would kind of suck. I don't have anything that facilitates that action. So therefore, I can't do it. So I can't promise it, and I can't tell anybody about it. But in reality, I probably could lug my iMac around. It wouldn't be great. I wouldn't like to do it, but I could. But what I really should do is just get the MacBook and then enable that part of my life. Of course, the problem with that is a lot of times I'll create real fantasy things like, oh, I can't do anything creative unless I have a $400,000 graphics card. Oh crap, God knows I've done that before. I did that with the storyboard program. I totally thought that I could not visualize my ideas at all, worth a damn, unless I could get that storyboard program. So I spent $360 and bought that kick-ass storyboard program, and I've used it 3 times. A bad example of usage. But I think I'd use the MacBook just a little bit more than a $300 storybook program that really looked like it was made in the 80s. I mean, come on, I was totally teased out. Those are the things that are dangerous for me. Like, I see the same thing when I see, like, a screenwriting program or this. If I think of potential of pouring out ideas, it'd be so much better, I'd be so much smarter, and then, fuck, I got a 400-page manual to read, I'm screwed. I'm better off buying Apple technology where I can go from aspirational fantasy, oh my god, I could do everything, and then the app is actually pretty damn good. It lets me do it. That's really where it's at. So, is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. Get iLife, you'll enjoy it. Don't hesitate on Apple apps. Why hesitate? Just get it. You're going to enjoy it. Other things you should get SketchUp. If you ever learn SketchUp,